Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
And on this episode, we're discussing fruit. Just fruit, random fruit. No, we're discussing our taste test of the mystery box from Miami Fruit.
Exotic fruit, tropical fruit.
Yes.
Just, some stuff we haven't tried before. Some we have, some we've never even seen in person. It's an interesting episode. I think you guys are going to like this.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. It's kind of giving me excuse.
Right.
I like most fruit except for grapefruit. Other than
Yes,
that,
I'm down.
I will eat most fruits other than that. Grapefruit is of the devil. I'm not even.
Yes,
Ugh.
agreed.
Ugh.
I feel like you either love grapefruit or you think it is literally the like spawn of Satan. It's
Because
just
it is.
like the grossest thing on the planet.
I used to know somebody who would like bake it and then sprinkle it with like cinnamon and eat it like that. I'm like, you're a monster.
That just made me sick.
Dude,
What?
that's so
You
nasty.
made it warm?
Yeah, like I'd bake it and put
Oh
some
my
like
God,
cinnamon
I have
sugar on
liquid
it.
coming out of my eyes.
It's
from-
nasty. Anyway,
that.
we're not talking about grapefruit though.
Thank gosh, because that would have been a real bummer if we
I've
had
been
to
like,
try
I'm
one.
gonna give this a 0. I don't like it.
We're not even going to attempt it. No, we got a box from Miami Fruit, and this is a company based in South Florida, which is great because I am from South Florida, West Palm Beach to be exact. Woo, woo.
Represent.
Yeah, I'm not really like a fan, but
It is Florida after all. Hey.
born and raised. But see, unlike people that live and grow up in Georgia, I left the state and ventured to new places. Yeah, that's it. I moved to upstate New York, where people also don't leave the state.
Fair
Then I
enough.
moved to Georgia, where people don't leave.
That's true.
It's so weird.
Born and raised, man.
Oh, it's adorable. But yeah, so Miami Fruit is based in South Florida, Miami. And they harvest from local farms, which is awesome because you're supporting local Miami, South Florida farmers. And it's a variety. So sometimes you know what you're going to get. Sometimes you don't really know. It's usually, I think, put on the website what they have in season. But sometimes it's, they throw something special in there. So we thought that it was going to take a few weeks to get to us. And it quickly got here.
It got here about like less than a week. I was like,
oh.
oh shit.
Yes. High five for your shipping, delivery. Great job.
Yeah, we're like, okay, well, we'll order it on this day, in a few weeks they'll come, and then we'll record. And I messaged you. I was like, so I got a package today. It was like 4 days later. I was like, yeah, we gotta record this sooner than that. We had and luckily by then most of the fruit had ripened, and we did. So let me back up. We recorded the videos. So I know most of our tastings have been recorded, like live. We record them and just play the audio. We thought that might be a little bit weird, considering it basically we're just eating candy and stuff like that, just recording that.
I mean, we recorded our cheese episode and had a great time with that one.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's do the same thing with our fruit and see our facial expressions when we try some of these fruits.
Yeah, and we record these individually, so we're gonna put them out on. And by now you probably start seeing the videos. We'll put them out on our Facebook and Instagram and our Faceagrams and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry. So you guys can see the individuals, and I'll stitch everything together and put up on our YouTube so you can watch all the tastings in one. So instead of recording our tastings, and just putting out that recording, which is what we've done with all of our tastings, and including our cheese one, was just a straight audio cut from the video. We're gonna put videos out. We're trying a new thing with you guys. Put the video out, little thing. Putting the video out individually and recording a separate episode to see kind of like what you guys like better. But anyway, we got it way sooner. And Miami Fruit, like Meg said, they work with local farmers. They grow some stuff themselves, and they have like the really weird specialty fruits. They work with local farmers. But yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. You know, it's like a box of chocolates, honestly. You know it's coming.
Such dork.
And but yeah, so you can see what's in season to get an idea. But yeah, we're gonna run through each individual of the fruits and kind of talk briefly, because you'll get more information if you watch the videos.
Yes, and I like that they started out as a small fruit stand at local Miami farmers markets in 2015, and now they ship across the United States. That's amazing. I love it. Great story. You can visit their website, see that. They also sell a bunch of other things. It's not just a variety box of fruit. They have specialty boxes that are like dedicated to one kind of fruit. So if you love like blood oranges, and those are the ones in season, you get a whole box of them. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
And the bananas and just sour sops and all kinds of stuff you can get boxes of, which is kind of cool.
I would do that with persimmons. Oh, there's a fruit in our box that I thought was a persimmon, and I got very excited, and then it was not.
It was not a persimmon.
So
it was very much not a persimmon.
Such a bummer. It really looked like it, though. But before we start chatting about the fruit, I want to say something real quick. So when you guys watch these videos and listen to them, you're going to hear my sweet little dog Lucy in the background with her tippy-tappy little toes and her heavy breathing. We even mention it at least once or twice. So I just wanted to say that since recording that episode, she has passed away. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. It's fine. It's fine.
I had the button over pause the recording, so we can have a moment for you. Okay.
She has passed away, and so I wanted to dedicate this episode to her, because you're going to hear her little feet, and she loved bananas. So there you go for Lucy.
Cup of coffee up for Lucy. Cup of coffee up for Lucy.
Oh, she would steal that too.
That's why it's in the air. She can...
See, that's another thing. She was always sneaky about trying to steal my coffee, even though it's so bad for dogs too.
Oh, very, yeah.
Stop it.
Well, to be fair, your coffee is mostly creamer, and so she should be fine unless she can overdose and carry again. She'd be all right.
Goodness, but we do have some bananas in this box, and I didn't give her any at the time, and I wish I had now, because she would have been like, oh, those are delicious. But she would freak out over bananas, and since you're going to hear her and maybe even see a shadow of her in the videos, I thought I should say something. So
absolutely,
in honor of Lucy.
That's right.
Yay. Okay, look, I did it. I only cried a tiny bit.
There you go. I'm proud of you. You're doing good. The healing process continues.
It sucks.
Oh, trust me. I have my cat sitting on my fireplace mantle right now.
I should have brought her up here with me. Next time.
Every weekend when I clean the house, I dust him. I'm like, hey, buddy, look a little dirty.
She's far more portable now because she's in a tiny little box. Such a morbid thing to say.
Oh, trust me. When I know we're kind of off the rails. When my grandfather passed away, I had to pick up his ashes, and he died through libations. Through adult beverages,
goodness!
He was in the Korean War, and he would drown his sorrows. And when I picked him up from the funeral home, put him in the front seat, put a seatbelt on him, and offered him a drink. And my family was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Come on, Papa would have found that hilarious."
Exactly.
He would have found that whole. He'd have been like, "That's pretty funny." I'm like, "That's pretty funny, right?" So part of healing is acceptance.
Yes. So. Thank you for letting me do that. So
absolutely.
Yay! All right. Let's talk about fruit.
Let's get fruity.
Now I listed our fruit and scores, but we can just kind of pick and choose whichever ones we want to talk about first. But
we can go down the line.
All right, let's talk about dragon fruit, because a lot of people have had dragon fruit. This is probably like one of the least exotic things in our box. Yeah. I say that, but I have told the story before on the podcast, but for anyone who hasn't heard it, I'll tell it again. I brought a pink dragon fruit to work one time, and I put it in the fridge. I like it when it's like cold and chilled, when I don't know, I like the temperature of it. So anyway, I put it in the fridge, And everyone in the office knows I'm vegan. And I got at least 3 messages, and one person came to my door and they were like, "Is that your weird fruit in the fridge?" And I was like, "Why do you just automatically?" And they're like, "Come on, who else would it be?" And I was like, "Fine, whatever." Yes, it's mine. And a majority of them had never seen it. Now, I don't know if that's a Georgia thing or what, but I find that very strange that they had never seen a dragon fruit. So I made everyone try it. Like, I sacrificed. You don't get a whole lot in a dragon fruit.
True.
And I sacrificed and let like 5 people try it. And they loved it. They were like, "Oh, this is actually really good." I'm like, "I know. Stop making fun of my weird looking fruit." It's not weird.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. They're spiky. They've got spiky bumps.
Oh, spiny.
But they're so colorful. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, they're beautiful.
And what's crazy is how different they taste depending on their color.
Yes. And we have to talk about that because we got both colors.
We do.
Spoiled in this box.
Yeah. So we got the pink, red, whatever you want to call it, dragon fruit. Yeah, I did. I you know, as you can see in the video, I wasn't too big of a fan.
Neither was I.
Yeah. And that's primarily because I never liked the red ones anyway, so I was a bit was a bit poisoned going in. They've always been very bland or like too what I would call too green tasting for me. That's what I got with this one.
And they trick you. Like, you think, God, they're so pretty. They must taste super sweet. And it's almost like your brain's like, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be super sweet. And then you take your bite and you're like, oh, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like it makes you expect such a higher standard, and then it's so disappointing when
your
it's
brain
not
goes like
that good.
Cherries and raspberries and strawberries and red apples. And I was like, no. I get why people like it, especially, I see it used a lot in like smoothie bowls more than anything else. It's usually because it gets blended up with dates and like other like sweeter fruits. But yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, that actually is a good tip. If you want something that is vibrant and pretty in your smoothie or your smoothie bowl or anything like that, you could use the pink red ones and add some flavor someplace else because they add some color.
Ooh,
but yeah, we both gave it a very bad score. Ooh, kind of feel bad.
I don't. It wasn't very good.
David's like, I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah. Out of 10, guys. Out of 10. That's why we feel bad.
Yeah.
But we also got a yellow one, which is white inside. Not as visually beautiful. In fact, a little bit weird looking, to be honest. I don't know why white with the flakes of
the black
seeds. I don't know why it freaks me out, but it's not visually stimulating in a good way to me. And yet I gave it a 9 because it is so sweet and juicy and just delicious.
Yeah, I gave it an 8, man, because it had balance of everything.
Yeah,
it was all juicy and watery and tasty delicious.
So that's a good tip. If you are listening and you've never dragon fruit, pick the yellow one, even though your brain's gonna go, "Ooh, the pink one." Ooh,
yeah, because it feels
yellow.
Vibrant. Yeah, it almost feels like the flavors are reversed in those.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one we had was a star apple. So disclosure, we ate it wrong. Well, listen, we know we ate it wrong. We ate it partially correct.
There you go. That's how you should put it. Listen, nothing came with an instruction manual.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We didn't know.
No,
we just kind of went with it. And David was trying to make sure we didn't die.
Yeah, because there's some of these things that definitely fruits we'll talk about that you can't eat the seeds or you can't eat the skin for different reasons. Like the star apple, for example, it make you sick. You eat the seeds, they will make you sick.
Yeah.
The skin isn't very very tasty. As a matter of fact, the star apple, actually, I forgot about this. Probably should have told you this. I forgot about it, but it actually produces a latex when you cut it open.
Oh wow, you probably should.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you have a latex allergy, it would bother you.
Right.
But I wouldn't risk it. If you have a really bad latex allergy, I don't think it, because there's a couple of fruits who actually produce a latex when you cut them. The star apple is one of them, and they actually use that in production of latex in some latexes. So if you have latex
That's
allergy, you might want to
fascinating.
be careful with the star apple. Yeah, I forgot about that till like the other day. I was like, I didn't ask if she was allergic to latex.
I'm not, thank
Good.
gosh.
But yeah, so something to bear in mind. But yeah, like the seeds will, I don't know if they'll kill you, but they'll definitely make you sick if you eat them.
Right. I remember that it was flavorful, but there wasn't like enough for us to really get a huge amount of flavor,
Yeah.
and that's because we ate it wrong.
It was good. It wasn't a strong flavor. It was good. And I think the reason we gave it the score we did is because there wasn't much to it.
Right.
What turns out the actual stuff around the seed, you're supposed to actually eat that as well. And I didn't know that. I thought you couldn't eat anything. And then I was like, this seems like crazy. We wasted a whole fruit. And I was like, we only ate only half of it.
Listen, mistakes were made. It happens.
Yeah, it probably could have been a little bit more ripe too. I think we missed it there. So,
which was a factor. It's hard to get two people together in exact moments to eat everything when it's perfectly ripe. So it didn't exactly work out perfect for us, as you'll see as we keep talking. But we both gave the star apple a 3.
I think we probably would have gone to a 4 if we could have eaten the whole thing. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably a little bit more. I still think it wasn't. Apparently, it's like it's good. It's just there wasn't much to it, and it was a little softer in the flavor. And I like my fruits to like hit me in the face. Like
yes, I agree.
And that definitely would not have even been like even if we ate the seeds properly, like the stuff around the seed properly. I think we still would have been like, this is actually pretty good, but it's not. I think it's still
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll bring it. So I was like, and nothing else because I don't know what I said before. So the next is the Tomarillo.
Tamarillo. Anyway. Tree tomato, I think is what they also call it.
Yeah, it's a tree tomato.
This is the one I thought was a persimmon.
Yeah, it looks like a persimmon. It looks like a pointy persimmon.
Yes, like one that's been kind of squeezed in the middle to make it longer.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you have to wait for it to get like really soft, kind of too, kind of similar to persimmon. It did not taste like a persimmon.
Nope. Sure didn't.
Did not. It tasted like a
it was savory in a weird way.
It was like a sweet savory tomato.
Yes.
It
which
weird.
Makes sense. Like that's what it probably should taste like, but your brain just kind of I don't know.
The seeds, like the pulpy stuff, the seeds, the squishy stuff in the middle, that was sweeter. It was sweeter. And then the flesh of it was just a like really strong savory. And
it'd be great in a salad.
Yeah.
It'd be great in like a beet salad too, like a fresh beet orange salad. Ooh, that'd be really good.
Yeah, you would definitely want to balance it with something that's a little sweeter, or maybe something that's slightly acidic, maybe like a.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Some like lemon juice on it to kind of like pull down that savory because it was just really, really heavy. Like a vinaigrette or something on it might be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because like to me, it was just like because like we had like one little slice of it left. I was like, I'm not throwing it out. That's wasteful. I'm taking one for the team. Let's do it. Pour one out for the homies. And I just ate the thing, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much. And to be fair, tomatoes are always really strong to me. The tomatoes to me are like eating a spoonful of sugar. It's just a lot to me. But this was, and it's savory to me, kind of like if you just ground up like oregano and basil and thyme, and you just ground up really fine, and you ate a big spoonful of that mixture. It's just like, almost to a point where like it takes your breath away a little bit.
It's definitely an experience. It's different than anything else you've probably had, yet it's also very familiar in a weird way. Like it is a very interesting fruit for sure. We both gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I swear we didn't try to copy each other. We just think alike. Okay, this happened several times throughout here, so get used to it.
Yeah, and again, I know it's like you gave it a 6, but it's not sweet like a fruit. And yeah, exactly. But like I say, I like my fruits to be stronger, have a lot of flavor to them. Would I eat this outright? No. I wouldn't eat outright.
No, but I think it has a lot of potential and a lot of interesting meals because it would pair well with tomatoes. You know what I mean? Just adds a little bit of a different flavor to it. Like it could go into a lot of things. So if you ever can grab one of these and try it out, I would highly recommend it.
And this is one where you do not want to eat the skin. The skin is actually very bitter and astringent, so it can kind of dry your mouth out, kind of like a unripe persimmon can. So don't eat them. It's very bitter. Don't do it.
I want a persimmon now. Next, we talked about a kumquat, one of my favorite words. Sorry, you could cut that out.
That's not a family-friendly show. I don't give a shit. As everyone knows, I mark explicit. So if your kid's in the car, that's on you.
Listen, I just like the way it sounds.
It does sound pretty funny.
Anyway, like I said, I'm from South Florida. We eat these very commonly down there. They grow in people's yards just like naturally. But I just remember not liking them. I don't really remember eating them. I just know that I didn't like them. And I don't remember why, because I love oranges and they don't taste anything like a grapefruit. So I don't know why. I had this memory of just, maybe I had like a bad one or an unripe one. That would be super gross.
Yeah, not good.
That's probably what it was. And I'm just like, I remember it being like a overwhelming sourness. I didn't super like it this time, but it was way better than my memory. So you had a little tiny glow up kumquat.
Some people think they're tiny oranges. And they try to just eat the inside. The inside is bitter, like a lemon, but the outside is sweet, like an orange. So that's why I eat the whole thing. I actually didn't know what they were. And then years ago, I was watching True Blood, and the two characters, I can't remember their name now, but they were in the pool.
So random.
I know, they're in the pool and they're eating these like little orange things. I'm like, what the hell is that? That looks interesting. I never had a weird orange thing. It's like, is it like a fake thing they made for the show? So I looked like small orange fruit and kumquat. I was like, okay. What's this? I looked up. It was like basically described as a reverse orange, because orange, the peel is sour and the fruit is sweet. It's like reverse. You eat the whole thing. I was like, okay, pause, going to the store. And I found them at Whole Foods, and I was like, like a little package, like a little clamshell thing. I was like, bought those. I was like, oh my god, these are so good. And it is. It's like reverse orange. It's orange sweet flavor on the outside and sour bitter on the inside. You eat them together. It's almost like a reverse Sour Patch Kid.
It's cool for adults, but as a kid, can you imagine how cool that's probably, especially when you say it's the opposite of an orange and you try to see their little brains try to figure that out as they're eating it. I can just picture this.
Oh my God. I now
such
know.
an experience.
I now know what I'm doing to my nephew next time he comes over. Like, bro, you want to try a kumquat? They're delicious.
They are really.
Why are you filming me? Just take it. Just eat it. Just eat it. It's hilarious. Eat it.
They're really good. If you have an issue with like a texture, it might be weird because you do have to kind of chew into the skin, and it might be a little bit weird for you if you have a texture problem. But they are like such an experience. How often do you just eat the skin like that? Like on something that's like, it's like a skin, it's thick. It's not like a real thin apple skin or something. Like it's an orange like skin. And it's like, are you sure you can do that? And just, it's very weird mentally to suddenly chomp down on what looks like a tiny little orange that you've not peeled. Like, what?
Yeah, your brain's like, you're not supposed to eat this part. Like,
but it's tasty.
Yeah, we both gave it a 5 out of 5. So, kind of middle of the road. Next was the one I was excited about. That was the Cocoa Pod. And the Cocoa Pods, it's cool. It comes in this thing that looks like a giant coffee bean. Really hard. You got to use almost like a butcher knife to cut the thing open. And the inside, and this way I've described it to other people. The inside looks like a rattlesnake's tail. And like the fruit on the inside feels like a wet marshmallow.
Yes.
It's like a wet, damp marshmallow.
Oh, guys. It was an experience. It was so weird. I mean, I've said this already, twice now, I think, that it was an experience. But it was. For sure. You don't want to eat it when you touch it because the texture is so funky. But, You guys may hear some thunder.
Yeah.
We have some very bad storms in Georgia right now.
Just lightning, ding, 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 ding over here.
Yeah, it's a miracle we haven't had any. Oh, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to would have not finished my sentence.
Yeah, don't do that. We've already had a couple of those. But,
yeah, it's storming, so sorry.
What's
the texture when you reach in to like touch it, they're like slimy, marshmallowy, like you said, and you're like, no, I don't. This doesn't seem like something that should go in my mouth. But
well, your brain's always taught you that anything that's like wet and goopy and slimy is rotten. It's gone bad. You shouldn't be eating that. And your brain is wrong because it's delicious.
It was very good. It was so freaking weird, though.
Good.
I was surprised how much I enjoyed it because visually it is so unappealing to me that I thought for sure there was no way I was going to enjoy it, but it was very, very tasty. Again, such an experience though. Like you are in for quite a treat, and you're going to be talking about it for sure with other people. That's what I had.
The outside of it, the part you eat initially is like this white. Again, it's like a wet marshmallow, and you it doesn't taste like chocolate when you put it in your mouth, right? So you kind of like suck the white stuff off the seed. Shut up. It's hard not to talk about this stuff without laughing.
I know. I mean, that's just
we're both 12, so it's hard to talk about this stuff without laughing.
We're stupid.
Oh my God, I just blew the audio out too. Sorry, everybody. I'll fix it in post. But no, but so the outside of it has it's like a lightly sweet, almost vanilla flavor to it.
Yes,
fatty, kind of a fatty vanilla kind of a flavor. When you get that off, you actually can just like crunch down and eat the inside seed, which is what the chocolate comes from, because they get rid of the white stuff, all the coating that's on the seed on the inside, and they roast it, they ferment it, and ground it up, and they make chocolate out of it, and they get cocoa butter which comes off of it. When you grind it, you get the fats off of it, all that stuff. But you can put the whole thing and eat it. I actually would just take the whole thing without taking the white stuff off, and just eat it, just mouth and immediately chew it up. And
the combo of the seed and the gooey stuff. I don't think I did that. I think
it was it's so much better in my opinion because you had the little bit of a sweetness in like the fatty sweetness, vanilla flavor of the outside mixed with that obviously bitter dark chocolate, and it actually gives you like this really unique, almost like really like vanilla dark chocolate kind of a flavor to it, but it's not strong. So it minifies that, the sweetness minifies the bitterness. So it's actually really good.
Yeah, it was pretty tasty, I will say.
It was really good.
I think so far this is my besides the yellow dragon fruit, I gave it a 6.
Yep. And I gave it an 8.
Yeah,
it was
because he was so excited for it anyway. So yeah, but that's another like experience for kids. Like there's quite a few here that I think your kids would really like. So kumquats, the or whatever it's called, and then the next one is the coolest. I was so excited for this, not because of the taste, but because it's so weird.
Yeah.
We tried Caviar Lime. Never heard of it before this, but it was so tiny. It was like the tip of my pinky. You would have thrown it away if you didn't know to look for it.
Yeah.
It's so little. Looks like a little baby shrunken cucumber.
And they usually come big. They usually come about kind of like half the size of your pinky. We got a small one, which is still.
Well, anyway.
But we got a really small one in comparison to other ones that I've seen. But it's really cool because you cut it in half, and when we cut it in half and gave one each got a half, and you squeeze it from the bottom, it goes. It's like little pellets, tiny little BBs come like gushing out of it, and it looks like tiny little caviars.
Yeah, except not killing anything. Yeah. So that's a plus.
Technically, we killed the lime, but no central nervous system, so we're okay.
I wish you guys could have seen David's hand movement he just made of what it looked. That was so great. It was yummy. Tastes, like a lime, kind of like a more subtle lime. It wasn't as crazy, but the little tiny like balls of lime were such a cool texture. Yeah. It was just as I expected it to be. Cool to look at, really cool in your mouth. I don't know what you would use it for
Well,
I have no idea.
I thought it'd be good as like adding to the top of a key lime pie, kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
do some sort of like decoration on some sort of citrus dessert.
Yeah, that would be good. I wonder what it would be like on top, like a little bit on top of like a piece of like vegan sushi.
Hmm.
Just adding a little freshness to it. That
That'd
might be yummy too.
That'd be interesting. Oh, sorry, buddy. That'd be
Oh
interesting.
goodness.
I hit my desk. Sorry. I'll try to add that up too.
So we both gave it a 7
Yes.
because I think it was one, we knew what it was going to taste like, and it tasted like that. It wasn't, anything crazy. And it was so neat to look at. It's just something we've never seen before. And it was, it was an experience again. I keep saying that, but
It's
again.
experience of it. And it didn't have the sour bitterness of you getting it from a line. It has a little sweeter, a little milder in flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was like if it was a big one, I'd go like I would eat it. I would actually have it as like a snack with fruits and stuff if I could. The next in the lime family is the key lime, which most people have actually had the key limes.
Yeah, but what do you have them? Just in a key lime pie. Tell
yeah.
me what else you have a key lime in.
Miami fruit box.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, we have to find some other reasons to have key limes. There's got to be some other uses. But yeah, so we just ate some key limes.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
Not too much. I mean, if key limes again, they're a little less bitter, a little sweeter, and then a normal lime. I mean, it's not too much to talk about. I mean, I gave it a 7 as well because it's lime. To me, the key lime tasted like the caviar lime, but bigger and less little poppy balls. So the flavor was the same, so I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6 because it was what I expected it to be. It wasn't anything crazy. I'd make a key lime pie out of it. It's perfectly fine. And the next one, this is a good one. We had a blood orange.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm assuming a lot of people have had a blood orange or seen one. But if you haven't, they truly look like they're bleeding, like they're colored blood red inside. Like it's pretty crazy looking and a little spot on. So I think if you've never tried one, it's something that you need to kind of seek out because they are delicious.
Oh yeah.
I love oranges in general. It's a South Florida girl in me, but besides persimmons, they're my favorite fruit. So I was very excited because I love a good blood orange.
Well, it had the orange flavor, but there's something unique about the blood orange flavor. It's like an orange but different. It's no way. It's hard to. Because I think even oranges have a bit of that bitterness to them.
Mm-hmm.
Even the sweetest orange has a bit of that citrusy bitterness to it that you get from a citrus. The blood orange doesn't really have that. It's very muted. So it's mostly it's like a mild sweet with no bitter to me. So that's what I like.
Yeah, it's delicious. I mean,
Totes.
you could use blood orange in anything. I mean, it comes with as orange juice. You could put it in salads just as a snack, fruit salads, things like that. And all they're so cool looking. I'm going to just repeat myself for the millionth time. This would be cool for your kids too if they've never seen a blood orange. I mean, they may be a little freaked out. They may think it's like truly bleeding. Let's just think this through.
I saw a video recently.
Know your child.
Right. I saw a video recently where a guy took some blood oranges. He cut them up into like little rings. Then he cooked them with some sugar water. So basically made a simple syrup out of them. And then he set them down to dry. And when they crystallized, they actually were turned into candied blood oranges.
Like those old school candy oranges we used to have as kids.
Yeah. So he basically now you get to skin the whole thing. And then he saved the simple syrup, which is basically simple syrup that's flavored with like real blood oranges. And you can use that for like cocktails or mocktails and stuff. But he did that, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a wonderful idea. Beautiful idea."
What a great idea!
Yeah. So you can do that with a lot of fruits like that. You can. Citruses are really good with. You can just make a it was like a 2-to-1 I think with sugar and water. Get that hot and then boil it up. Then continue to cook it with the fruit in it. Drain off the liquid for whatever you want to use a sweetened flavored liquid for. Again, cocktails is the most common. And cooking, you probably use it for cooking and things like that, for like baking and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have little candied fruits, which is pretty cool.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
You could do that with a lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
We scored blood orange high.
Yeah, man. I give it a 9. Both give it a 9.
Yep. Both gave it a 9. We loved it.
Not a lot of bitterness to the sweetness. Good sweetness. It's an orange. You can't beat an orange. It's always good all around.
Yeah, delicious. Okay, so next we tried 2 different bananas. They were delicious. I'm gonna start right there. Okay, bananas are good. I don't know if you can make a bad banana. They're one of my favorite fruits.
Oh, for sure.
And again, they make me think of my sweet little Lucy. So I just had one like 5 minutes ago. It just immediately makes me think of her. So I'm excited. We tried 2 different kinds. We're not super sure on what they're called. One's an apple banana or a Musa banana is what I looked up and saw. You explain the second one.
So the other one apparently is called a Brazilian banana. It's much smaller than the other one. But apparently they grow in Hawaii, and the Hawaiians also will call them an apple banana. So there's a lot of banana varieties, and the names half the times you can't figure out the names of them and what they are. May not make sense, but
right. And if you are curious, watch the videos and you can see exactly what these bananas look like. But the bigger bananas, that would be the apple Musa, we think bigger bananas. They were, God, I'm trying to remember. They were a little bit blander from what I remember. They're definitely completely different shaped.
Yes,
guys.
This is almost square. This is boxy.
I've never seen, it will trip you out. I've never seen a banana that was like a square. Like it's not rounded, dude. It's so weird.
I will say that because we had more than one each. So I took the other ones home and I let them get way more ripe than they were when we had them.
I'm jealous.
And they got so much better.
Oh.
I'm actually going to increase my score on this one, actually. I know we talked about it beforehand.
I'm jealous.
Because, okay, so the idea of the apple, the one we're talking about now, the apple banana, that one's supposed to taste like a green apple.
Right.
Yeah. No, it got to the point where it's got creepy. Like, my brain was like, do you have more of this?
I am so mad at you right now.
Yeah, I'm putting my score up one level. It was really good. It was super good.
Oh gosh, I'm jealous.
I will say with these, was it the not the Cavendish? I think is the apple. Was the apple? It takes an apple. The Cavendish is the banana that we're used to having in the grocery stores.
Right.
And those you don't want to get super ripe. Well, some people like them when they're really really ripe. I don't. You want a couple brown spots, not too crazy. I would say if you're gonna get a variety like these, you want them to get very brown, not falling apart, mushy brown, but like wait. If you're the type of person who doesn't like dark brown bananas, you don't like the green ones, you like that in the middle, which is kind of what I do, let them get darker than that.
Right. One step further.
One step in, and they're going to get a little less starchier, a little less drier, and the center of it is like it's a green apple, and it's almost like you took a banana and a green apple and like made like a little banana apple sandwich. Went that's what.
Oh my God, I hate you. Yeah, because when we ate both of these, they were a little bit drier. So that's like all I can think about is how like a little bit dry they were, and it's because they probably weren't ripe enough completely. Weird how we both get thunder at the same exact time.
Yeah. I know we're
like an hour away from each other.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, I both of these were really good. The apple or Musa banana, which I'm now upgrading mine to an 8, so now we match.
Yeah, we both gave it an 8.
Yeah. That I think was the flavoriest of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the other one also had an apple flavor.
It did, yeah. I remember that.
I would say the smaller one, which we'll call the Brazilian banana, it had more of a red apple to it than a green.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
So it was more of it had because a green apple to me is that like almost sweet crab apple, like sweet bitterness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Where a red apple, like a Fuji, I think that it's like more of a apple juice, more of like a sweet, subdued, not like a. I'm talking about like a fresh apple juice, because most apple juice you get in the store is like not, it's concentrated with sugars and stuff. Like straight up, you took apples, put them through a juicer, and you had apple juice like that. It's not super sweet, but it's sweet. And apple, and it's a very like crisp apple flavor. It's like that mixed with the banana. That's the Brazilian one.
I agree completely. And the Brazilian apples are, damn it, the Brazilian bananas are so little. They're very, very tiny little boogers. They're like half the size of the bananas you're used to. And
if not more, if not less than that, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like, makes it extra cute too. They were both delicious. Like, it's hard to kind of give them different scores because they were both so good.
Yeah.
But we did both like the Brazilian one a tiny bit more. Well, I guess now you're tied, aren't you?
Even now, yeah, they're both really good for different reasons.
So he gave the Musa banana a 7. I gave it an 8. The Brazilian one, David gave an 8. I gave a 9. Super, super good. We really liked them. I'm really mad that he got to have more than me, and they were more
offered for you to keep
delicious.
It. I offered you to hold on to it. You're like, no, it's okay, you can have it.
Well, you were very excited about the fruit, so I was trying to be nice, but now I'm mad.
That's true. So the next one is the Sapodilla. I'm going to call it Sapodilla. I think it's Sapodilla.
Okay. So we each had one, and we were keeping them until they were ripe so that we could try them ourselves privately. Well, at the time, my poor sweet Lucy passed away, so I forgot about this little fruit, and it too passed away. So I did not get to try it, and I was very upset. I was like, I'm already upset. Now the fruit has to be thrown away too?
So
I was pissed.
As you should be, because it was pretty good. So the Sapodilla, it was, if you watch the videos, you can see it's hard. Like I could like knock it on the table when we were trying them, so it was very hard, extremely hard, and you have to let it get soft to the point where it's all squishy.
It's ugly too.
All wrinkly. It looks like a rock. It looks like it's a round rock, and it's hard as a rock when we got it. So we're like, okay, this will take a while. So once it got ripe enough where it had some like give to it and it was all getting wrinkledy, I was like, okay, we're good to go. So you can't eat them when they're unripe, because it's just inedible. It's just green, and it tastes terrible, right? You can't even do that. So if you want to wait till they're have a squish to them and they're wrinkly, you cut them open and you want them, they're almost like a light brown, like a sandy brown on the inside. You cannot eat the skin. You really wouldn't want to. It's just fibrous and it's probably not that good. The seeds actually can kill you.
Oh my Lord.
And the seeds actually, I hit my mic, guys. I'm sorry. The seeds can kill you, and I'm making all kinds of noise this episode. Apologize for the blowing eardrums out at times. And the seeds actually have a barb on the end of them.
Oh my goodness!
That are pointy, and they can get like stab in your throat and stick in your throat, and you will choke to death on them.
Oh my God!
Don't eat the seeds. Not only that, they're actually poisonous. They actually legit will kill you. Don't eat the seeds.
Wow.
But the fruit itself is really good. So the flavor is like tastes like a caramelized pear.
I'm so jealous. Again,
it tastes
I
like
hate you.
And I was like, it's creepy. It tastes like caramel. Like it's almost like you take a pear and drizzle a little bit in caramel, like a light caramel. That's what it tastes like. The texture is weird. It's like it's mealy, it's sandy, almost like an apple that's gone bad.
Oh, weird.
It's like a mealy apple. So if you get past the texture, which is, to my opinion, hard to get over because your brain's like, this has gone bad. It's gone mealy. It's all gritty. You don't do.
And also the color, because you said it's brown.
It's brown, like a sandy brown on the inside. Yeah. If it's green, don't eat the green part. It just tastes terrible. I had a little bit of green on an edge. I was like, what? Ooh, no, don't do that. But the actual like right part was really good. Tastes like a caramelized pear. Again, the texture was really hard to get through. But it's very sweet. It's like musty pear, like the sweetness of a pear with caramel on it and a little bit of vanilla behind it, kind of like a little bit almost banana-y with the vanilla-ish.
Wow.
But
I
mostly
missed
caramel
out.
pear. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Such a bummer.
So I gave it a 6. I'd probably give it a little higher if the texture wasn't weird, but the texture makes it difficult to eat for me anyway.
That happens a lot. Texture does ruin things sometimes.
Yeah.
We had one more, and it was a big, gigantic avocado.
Dude, I had avocado toast planned. I was like,
This thing was holding on to the overripe life for far too long. And then it did what avocados do.
Yeah. In true avocado fashion, it goes, not yet, not yet, not yet. Now, oh, too late. I literally picked it up that morning, the day before. I was like, okay, yep, we're good. Tomorrow it's on. We're doing this. And then I was like, okay, it's I was going to film the avocado episode, a little video, and I already filmed the Sapodilla, which is recorded by myself in my bedroom. So we got to see a nice little white wall behind me.
So
cute. And but I cut it open, and it was just like mold all the way through the middle. The seed had come apart. And it was all gross and black. I was like, okay, never mind. It smelled weird. Like, no. Yeah, the avocado did not make it to the taste test, unfortunately.
Well, that was a little stubborn guy, but we know what an avocado tastes like.
Yeah,
so
I want avocado toast. I was all excited for avocado toast.
I know, and it was so big you could have had avocado toast for like 3 days.
I was excited. But
the thing was huge. Yeah, so that's the end of our list. Let's see, what was our favorite? I mean, it's got to be the blood orange, right?
Yeah, the blood orange. I guess, and for the traditional fruits, I think with the non-traditional, I think the bananas one. It's hard, but I consider the bananas non-traditional because they're weird. They're weird.
They are weird bananas. I mean, you're not going to be able to find those everywhere, but they were definitely in the top. The yellow dragon fruit was in the top, and that is something that you can find in most places. So look for that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So like the stuff we kind of half used to, or we've had versions of before, kind of got high. The stuff that I think, other than that, the cocoa pod was like
that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. If I take blood orange and bananas out, I would say cocoa pod was probably one of the higher ones up there you can't normally get.
Right.
I would say a cocoa pod. I think everyone because we've all enjoyed chocolate unless you have an allergy. Obviously, stay away.
And I'm so sad for you.
Yeah. That's a way to attack someone for it.
I'm so sad.
Sucks for you. But wow. I love that. Just
so
giving someone shit for having an allergy. It's funny. But yeah, I think the cacao pod. Wow. Is definitely something that everyone, if you can get your hands on one, do. It's really good. Beware of the texture. It's gonna be like a wet marshmallow. But if you can get past, I don't get past that weird wet, squishy marshmallow kind of flavor, and not flavor but texture, it's really good. It's really good. I definitely would advise you try it.
There's definitely quite a few in here. Like I said, that would be great for kids to try, to get them to try something different. That's a little outside the box. And speaking of boxes, check out Miami Fruit because they have some great ones. We'll have the link in our show notes on our website, but miamifruit.org is the website. So let's just be specific because you probably put .com and that's not the right one.
But I think overall, so first off, let's talk about stuff I had the issues that I had.
Okay.
I want to get into those. So I think the biggest issue I think the issue that most people tend to have from what I've looked into is that you get a box and you have no fucking clue what any of it is.
Right.
So I spend way too much time going, okay, what kind of banana is this? Is this a passion fruit or is it a star apple? And I kind of wish, I'm sure maybe they don't do this because it wouldn't be wasteful for paper or something. There might be, maybe it's just a waste concern they have. But they don't give you a list of here's what is in your box. Here's how to eat this thing. Like we probably wasted an entire fruits not knowing how to eat it properly.
And there could be a digital way to tell us that. It could be in an email, a quick little video to show me how to do things, or something that could easily be done with what is in season. So I mean, like, that's just a little thing that
A
could
little
make it
stamp.
a little
have
better for people.
Have a stamp with a number on it. You did it, and you go to that number, and on the website, and it tells you, okay, this is a Sapodilla, and you need to wait for this long, and don't eat the seeds because they'll kill you, and whatever.
I mean, yeah, kind of important.
They have like a spreadsheet you can pull up that has the ripening, how to like ripen and when to eat and that sort of stuff. But if you don't know what you have, that's probably my biggest complaint, is that I don't know what I have.
Right.
And I may have thrown out an entire star apple when I could eat the whole thing after the season. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest issue I have with it. Price wise, are fine. I think for what you're getting it is pricey. I'm not saying it's like cheap by any stretch, but the fact that you're going to get some fruits you never had before, you're definitely getting a unique experience. I think the price is right. I paid, I think it was like $100 for 10 pounds of fruit, which sounds like a lot, but it was fruit that I can't get here. Like I can't go get a cacao pod. I can get key limes, but I can't get a caviar lime and try that out.
Yeah, you're not going to get a kumquat in Georgia. So I mean, there's just some things that, I mean, maybe if you're real lucky, but there's just like those bananas, never seen those anywhere. So I mean, it's definitely, if you want, like David said, like that experience to have something different, maybe you get it and your family gets to try it one weekend. It's like your weekend experience. On Sunday, you're going to try a bunch of weird fruit and everybody gets to say their opinion. Kids love to share their opinion.
Yeah, I think if your family's adventurous, it's definitely a good family experience. For me, if I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and like I told him, I was like, I think it's a great idea if you're having some friends over. You can do like a vegan wine and cheese night, having some unique fruits out and stuff like that, kind of cut up on a chartreuse. Is it chartreuse board?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie? A chartreuse is a color.
Something like that. Yeah.
A board with stuff on it. With like crackers and some vegan cheeses and wines. I think it's a really good fancy adult like experience. It's just nice. That's what I would use it for. If your family's adventurous, you have maybe some kids that are like maybe a little older and they're into trying different foods, they're not very picky. It's great for a family experience. But if that's not the case, it's a great COVID's coming to an end. Have you have some friends over and be all vaccinated. Order the box. Get everything ripened up that you can. Things don't come ripe when you get them. You're gonna have to let some things get ripe, and you gotta be careful not to let it get too ripe. So that can be annoying for some people. They're like, I get the fruit and I eat it. There's some stuff that you can eat right when you get it. The caviar lime, the cacao pod, the dragon fruit. Those were ripe as you got them. So you have to be aware. You have to let things ripe. I did the paper bag trick where I put everything in a paper bag. And a lot of fruit, especially bananas, put off a gas, which I can't remember what the gas is, but actually causes other fruits to ripen. That's why you can't keep bananas with your apples. Your apples will go way too ripe before your bananas do. So put everything into a bag helps ripen it. That's how I got us to ripen as fast as it did. I just put it in the paper bag. So I mean, I definitely have a lot more positives. Prices, we got the large box, by the way. We got I got the larger box.
And I think it's kind of fun that you have to wait for some of it to ripen, because that just extends the period. The experience gets to be like longer now. We tried 3 of them on Sunday, but now we get to try like 2 more on Tuesday because they're ripe now. So it kind of just like makes you, wait a little bit, but you do have to be on top of it, because you guys know fruit, like an avocado, it can go bad very quickly.
If something ripens before everything else does, just throw it in the fridge. It'll slow down the process, and so you can get everything ripen up ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, again, my own negative is that I had no idea what I got. I had to do way more research than I was really wanting to do. Although I loved doing research, but I was like, I just want to know what kind of banana this has. I get you have 30 different varieties, and that's super cool, but I only have 2 of them, so which one is it? What's it called? Like, I'm watching YouTube videos about bananas. My whole algorithm on my YouTube subscription now is all messed up because I watch banana videos.
It's all banana content.
Yeah. So I think,
and they all look the same. So sometimes we're just, you know what I mean? Like that is a pretty substantial
Yeah.
like issue. Like I want to know exactly what we're getting.
Yes. So
But other than that, I thought the fruit variety was super cool. Like they gave you, some that you may have heard of, varieties of a fruit, and then some that I've never heard of in my life. And I think that's a great combo.
I like not knowing what I'm going to get. I like kind of the mystery of it all. I mean, you can look at what's in season, but what's in season doesn't mean you're going to get everything that's in that season.
Right.
That can be annoying to some people. Like, I want to know what I'm going to get before I get it. But I kind of like they're like, oh, it's like Christmas. What did I get? Yeah. So I mean, positives. It's tasty. It's tasty. It's good. And everything was good. Even the stuff I wasn't a big fan of was still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good experience. It can definitely add something if you kind of want something different, that you're not used to. And the price point I think is good for what you get. My only negative is that you don't know what you have when you get it sometimes, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and I think one more positive before we wind this down is I think it's always good to support local farmers. And I think that's a really wonderful aspect of this. They're Miami farmers, and maybe you don't live in Florida, but that doesn't matter. There are farmers that need support, especially now. So I think it's a great thing to support this company doing something great by just spreading some fruit love. Super vegan. Yeah. So we are going to have the link in our show notes. And let's talk about where you can find us. So you can find our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review and recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, all the people. Of course, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Average Vegans, or email us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. Show notes, links, all that stuff can be found at theaveragevegans.com. And we want to hear from you guys. We want more emails. We want to hear some episode ideas, your favorite treats that you're trying lately. Like, what are you addicted to snacking on at night? Like, what is that thing? Because we want to talk about other stuff and we want some input from you guys. So contact us. Let us hear from you. And that is it for this week.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.